Pleasure to welcome everybody to this session. In this live session, we're going to talk about business intelligence. I don't know if we're going to have much time to talk about data warehousing, but we will talk about business intelligence, what it is, and kind of the applicability of it to this IS 2800 course. So let's talk about what BI is first. So BI refers to the skills, processes, technologies, and applications and practices used to support decision making. So BI enables better decision making is what we could say. And so what you see here to the top right, the actual figure, you'll see BI, right? And when you see BI, you'll see it improves decision making, helps you know your business, grow your business, reduce risk and bottlenecks, identify waste in the system, enables real-time analysis of quick navigation, and it makes it easy to access and share information. So these are kind of all the various items that BI does. BI is a popular term, and it's an umbrella term. It's like when people say cybersecurity, they could be talking about cryptography, network security, physical security, application security. It's just an umbrella term. And so with BI is just one of these popular terms to discuss or describe different concepts and methods for improving business decision making. And so that's what business intelligence is. And so here it shows kind of BI as well, and it shows how you have aggregate data, how it gets to present data, and with the aggregate data is just basically items that are captured in a data warehouse, database, data mart, and then from there it goes to present data. And you look at present data. Present data is more like a visualization. It's a 2D visualization. That's what you see. And then it shows enriching the actual data. Basically adding content to create information and descriptive statistics, schematics, and variances for that particular data. And then from there, you can make an informed decision. So you have these four steps in terms of BI. A lot of this material is adapted from elsewhere on the web, taken from Pentaho, R Programming, RapidMiner, these various organizations that support data analytics and business intelligence from an open source standpoint. So CPU, content performance usability, not the central processing unit you may be thinking of, but content, determine what information, determines what the BI enables, the how. Performance, minimize report creation and collection times, basically near zero. It's just really point and click. And then usability. And usability gets a little different. So you have the delivery method, you have your push versus pull, the medium. This can be through numerous items, Excel, PDF, Libre, mobile device, enhanced digestion. Basically, you want that aha, that aha moment comes rapidly. It's apparent. So when you see the information, you're like, oh, I got it. I know what I'm seeing now. And what it's saying here is fewer clicks. When you think about usability, especially with BI, you got to make sure you're thinking about your end user and how the end user is going to potentially navigate through this potential tool, right? And then, of course, it tells a story. Trend, contacts, related metrics, multiple views. So we know what type of story is being told. All right, so we're going to take a flashback in time and look at some of the items where they talked about looking at trends and items that were important as it relates to BI. And so when you think about the top 10 business priorities for business technology 2011, you look at number 5 is business intelligence. Now let's just take a step back for a moment and think about what BI is and what it enables us to do. It enables them to make decisions, right? It allows us to get the data that we need in a better, more informed manner. We know that there's probably multiple ways of hosting this particular technology. So if we look at cloud computing and virtualization, those are pretty much tied together. You have your virtualized layer. Your virtualization allows for cloud computing. You think about hypervisors, VMs, ESXi, VirtualBox, what may you have, OpenStack. Those items go together. You think about mobile technologies. A lot of particular technologies today are mobile, which allow individuals to pretty much use that same technology in a different form factor, right? When I say form factor, I'm talking about maybe the type of device that the actual technology is being accessed from. I think about IT management. IT management is basically managing the organization. BI actually allows for IT management. So we're going to look at the first four as it relates to BI. Cloud computing virtualization allow for items to be accessed remotely. Remember, we have different infrastructures: platform as a service, software as a service, and then infrastructure as a service. So when you think about that, your entire platform, your entire BI platform can be done cloud-based, which means you'll be able to access it via mobile technology. That will allow you to manage it better, especially if you're in a meeting. You're able to actually pick up a mobile device and say, okay, I'm going to look at my tablet, and so I can make an informed decision in this particular business meeting. All one has to do is actually just move around and on their mobile device or their tablet and say, oh, okay, I'm going to run this particular metric. Okay, we should buy X or sell X while we're in this particular meeting in terms of negotiating with a customer or a client. So all those first four directly relate to business intelligence. Now you think about networking, voice, and data communications. All these items have to be networked, whether it's a LAN, which is a local area network, a wide area network, a metropolitan area network, virtual local area network, wireless, different infrastructures. That's sex. Enterprise application, your BI tool is going to be will end up an enterprise application. Collaboration technologies, your BI tool is going to more likely, you're going to be collaborating with individuals in terms of sharing data, concurrent users, things of that particular nature, and the infrastructure and web as well ties. So you think about it, all these items are really related to one another. And so you think about the top 10 business and technology priorities of 2011, 3 years ago, all these items pretty much relate to one another. Now, I'd like to welcome the two viewers that I have. Now, you are able to talk. If you have your microphone, you can talk as well. You are also able to type. So I'm going to show you an example of the typing. See me typing. So you can see me type. Well, you can't see me, but you can at least read the actual chat box. It should be to your right, and I'll say group chat. And so I'm going to make sure that you guys as well have the ability to talk. All right, so you guys have the ability to talk as well. So if you would like to say anything or interject with something, feel free, especially if you have questions, which I hope that you do have questions while we are talking, and you may ask questions as well. Okay. Now, let's look at major BI trends. Major BI trends are mobile, cloud, social media, advanced analytics, and various tools. These are kind of the major BI trends. Now, it's interesting. If you look at this slide from the previous slide, when we talk about mobile, we talk about cloud, we talk about Web 2.0, which is social media, advanced analytics and tools deal with actual enterprise applications. So these are the current major BI trends. Now, this is from 2010, and this is from TDWI. TDWI is an organization that is concerned with BI as well. I'll tell you what TDWI is so you can be familiar with it, and I'll actually post a link so you can see. So TDWI provides a lot of great resources as it relates to business intelligence, data warehousing, and is actually the Data Warehousing Institute. And they offer certifications on BI. And there's not actually a lot of organizations, and that I believe offer. Sorry, it's the Data Warehousing Institute that offer actually certification stuff like that on BI. I'm going to share my screen so you can actually see what I'm actually viewing. And so in relation to Data Warehouse Institute, this is what the Data Warehouse Institute is. The website's tdwi.org. I'm sharing the link with everybody. So here it just talks about various items, various publications they have, upcoming conferences, and I have quite a bit, as you see. You can see there's one in November, well, 2 in November, 1 in December, all covering advanced analytics, big data analytics for customer insight and engagement, education conference for BI, data warehousing, big data and analytics professionals, You can see that they are really serious about data analytics, business intelligence. They have numerous topics, and all these are related: agile, BI, big data analytics, business analytics, business intelligence, BI leadership, data analysis and design, data management, data warehousing, performance management, program management, and master data management. You can see there's numerous topics in this particular channel that individuals can actually peer into. They have, one of the neat things, they have the their hashtag TDWI. And you can see there's numerous individuals talking about BI and what organizations are facing. You know, BI is important because organizations now are, of course, fighting over the same territory, and the ways to gain customers from other customers from other competitors, especially in the same market space, is to understand how you can treat that customer better, right? So you understand how to connect with that customer, what they're looking for, understand if they buy this particular product, these are other products that you could sell to them. And so that is kind of some of the items that business intelligence actually offers. So here's the certification that they offer. This is the Certified Business Intelligence Professional. And so they offer the actual certification. Here it says that the certification allows individuals to start off at approximately $8,000 more on average than their non-certified counterparts. A lot of certifications will say that they offer, you can do these items just because of having that particular certification. All right, and so here's the actual roadmap that they have for the BI certification. And it's kind of neat. So you can kind of see kind of their, just a quick profile of their certified business professionals. And look at the experience range. You can see it's pretty much all over the place. 2 to 4 years, you have 4 to 6. The 3 highest areas are from 6 to over 20 years in terms of experience. But you'll see there is 18%. Well, 22 if you look at less than 2 are in the 2 to 6 range for experience. One of the things that I don't know if you guys knew this as undergraduate students, but the University of Missouri St. Louis, UMSL, has a graduate program in business intelligence. We actually offer a graduate certificate in business intelligence, and you don't have to be a technical individual to actually do this program. It's a standalone program that pretty much anyone can do. You come in, you knock out the certificate, you pick the track that you want. There's a track strictly for analytics. There's a track for more IS-oriented people, and it's a really good program. We've had a couple graduates thus far, but the information is available. Ping me if you'd like to know information about it. But BI is a growing field with not enough professionals actually in it today. So now I'm going to go back and share my presentation. All right, so here we are back at the presentation. So some of the items that they showed in 2010, which you see is pretty impressive: predictive analytics, visualization dashboards, master data management, the cloud, analytic databases, mobile BI, open source, and text analytics. And so they were basically asking organizations what BI technologies will be the most important to your organization in the next 3 years. Now, what we'll cover is the open source aspect of what they thought it was important. And we'll cover some of these various tools and stuff that are available that you can actually practice BI and statistical analysis on your own. So retail analytics. Now, retail analytics, this allows for market-based analytics, text analytics, customer segmentation and clustering, tailored product assortments, and inventory forecasting. And just this right here just shows an example of how it could look on a mobile platform. Now, in terms of doing statistical analysis, statistics open for all is a great tool. It's user-friendly. It allows you to do a number of items. You can download a CSV file, other file formats as well, and run statistical tests. Now, this is just an example of just how a statistical tool looks. So what we're going to do now is actually show you the website of that particular tool. I'm going to share my, here we go. So here's the actual website of Statistics Open for All. It's open. It's there for Mac, Windows, Ubuntu. This can also be used for Red Hat Package Manager as well. Any Linux OS that's using RPMs, you just got to have the Alien software tool and then convert it from Debian to RPM. But here just kind of shows the tool at a high level. So if you're taking a stats class, this may not be something you may want to use. I would probably say to use GNU PSPP, which is the open source version of SPSS. But it's just using an example of the tool. And I wanted to put this in here so you can see kind of a low-level example in terms of what you can do, in terms of what you can be able to do. Downloading is fairly easy. So what I will do is I'm going to show you how to download this particular tool. So if I do a screen share, I'm going to share my entire screen. All right, so you see my entire screen now. Now I'm running Ubuntu Linux. We'll see how this comes up. Okay, that's not it. I'll just go to downloads, download the file. This is sourceforge.net. There's a ton of open source tools here. Item is downloading. Let me hide that. I'm going to keep. I'm going to show you just the ease of using and downloading some of these tools. Install. Of course, it's going to ask for my password. So this bar just indicates how long it's going to take to actually download the software. Click progress, it shows it here as well. And so it doesn't take long to actually download the software, but once the bar fills up, it's downloaded. And then from there, you can actually see what the actual software can or cannot do. So we'll let this run. And also for Linux, for those who don't use Linux, do not use Linux, the actual item will come up here to the left, and it will upload. So now we're going to go back to the presentation. So yeah, another screen share. All right, so our language is important. Our language is a programming language. It's open source. Anyone can use it, tinker with it. But it's the programming language that allows statisticians to use. Well, hardcore statisticians. And so what it does, it allows for statistical computing. And so these are kind of some of the actual graphs that have been created using actual R language. The problem with R language, a lot of people are not going to spend the time learning all the intimate details on how to actually navigate through this particular item. Now, I'll actually provide this presentation because there's a ton of hyperlinks in here. It'll take you to various websites, and you can do further exploration on your own. So RStudio is an amazing tool. RStudio is the integrated development environment for R, and makes R a whole lot easier to actually use. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen. And so here is R. So I'm going to click on RStudio. And so this gives an example of how RStudio actually looks. That is this a data set that I brought in. See here, I didn't format it correctly because I would have had these items here and labeled correctly. But it's pretty powerful. It shows the history of all the items that are done in terms of detach, loading. Of course, you have to load the actual data sets in. And then from there, create plots, all types of neat stuff using commands here. And some commands are fairly easy, like this attach. And then grep, I was using that for a search, but I would say attach airports. If I actually had this item captured, there's no data set capture here, but it would say it would just be attached. And then from there, I could plot airports, and then I could choose, and I can give it further items in terms of how to plot and stuff like that. So you can see right here. And then the great thing is it has a history. It shows the environment. So if I had a data set, importing the data set's fairly simple. I just have the data set wherever I downloaded it and click this, and then from there I can just easily import it in. And once I import that data set in, I attach that data set, and then it lists all. I can select all different data sets that I actually want to use for doing this particular type of work. Now, in relation to this, I'm going to show you some stuff that was done using RStudio while I was in Russia. So I'm going to business intelligence. At that one, we're going to go here. So these are some visualizations that was created using RStudio and some other tools, some visualization tools. I'll give you an example of what some of these visualization tools look like as well. And in terms of what else you can do, but we'll go to show you this real quick. Minimize that. This is an example of the visualization tool that was taken from data that was captured and manipulated in RStudio. And then, of course, enhanced with the data visualization tool. Do you have any questions at all while we get ready to jump back to the presentation? All right, if no questions, we'll jump back. So Awkward is yet another IDE that is freely available for anyone to use and manipulate. My only thing is I just like RStudio because the way it's laid out and how for me it's easier to use. Everything is on one particular page. I can pretty much navigate fairly easy. I can see the the coding behind various items, and then it's easy for me to import, export. And then again, with the problem with R is just programming, just writing the actual program itself. I like to have a little bit more visualized. It's easier with the IDE. Let me just say that. It's like you take Eclipse for Java. So Eclipse is the IDE for Java for those who may have taken a particular programming language. Now, what I was talking about earlier was data visualization. And data visualization allows really for a much better enhancement of actually the data. And so now I'm going to actually show you data visualization. Perfect. So this is much better. So now you can just see this on screen. So datavisualization.ch is a website that provides a ton of visualization. If you click on the item, it'll show the type, it'll show the technology used, Perl, and the license, GPL, the general public license, and provide the actual website to the visualization. So here you can search numerous visualizations. A lot of these are pretty much freely available. If I just want to look at something for maps, I click maps, and only the visualizations for maps populate. Same thing for data, same thing for color. So I can switch back and forth with all these various visualizations. That's one of the neat things. Now, I'm going to delete this selection dot. It's going to take us to the actual, just the website for data visualization. And here it gives a ton of information on different events, different tools. I'm going to provide this link over here. They have a link in the chat box. And so here's, how do we create color scales? These are the tools that we just looked at, carefully selected, recommended list of tools. This is the vividness of Geneva. So we click this. It'll show the actual data set. You can see the data set. Loading's moving a little slow, but you can see the actual visualization. It's kind of neat here in terms of, and it described what they did. So if you've never done a visualization before, you can kind of read through, see what they're doing, what the data says, how they're playing with it, and then you can do these same items yourself. So here you can see someone actually commenting. Of course, they don't have a comment there at all, responding to them, but at least you have the ability to communicate your thoughts. And there's quite a bit of TED Talks that talk about this, and they talk about various conferences. It's in Wiesbaden, it's in Germany, analyzing presidential candidate body language. You can see there's just tons and tons and tons of information. Now, the other item that they have on here is the visualizing player. So path line, different maps, the visualizing player, and I'll actually show this. This is really, really, really cool in terms of so let's see if we can get this load. Let's refresh it. All right, it's not loading. Usually you'll see the actual visualizing player right here. And in that player, you can actually click it, and it's very interactive. It allows you to sift through various countries' data and see various items that are going on. It's a really, really good tool in terms of seeing the visualizing player and whatnot. So it's a good tool. So what we'll do is we'll kind of jump through some of these other items, and hopefully it loads in the meantime. We are going to jump through some other data analytics tools. We'll go to RapidMiner. Now, RapidMiner runs off of the actual R language. You can actually run in the cloud. Remember, we were talking about cloud as one of those emerging technologies. But here you can see various solutions. They have solutions for different industries. They talk about it. They have different use cases. And so let's take a look at oil and gas. So they have kind of like a little write-up here: improve technology and reduce prices, make it easier to collect and access on-site data, leverage RapidMiner and predictive analytics to explore, and generate value from this data, optimize extraction and production by ensuring process quality, improving risk management tactics, and employing predictive maintenance. So understand equipment failure. With that, you can mitigate risk. And then here it says assure production quality, leverage available data to optimize your business processes and security quality. And it's pretty neat because here they have it pretty much for all the various fields. We can click telecommunications, be prepared for the next move, make the next best offer, understand your targets, know what the best fit, prevent loss of customers, detect fraudulent behavior, recommend the right products, secure right-on marketing, minimize the satisfaction, and secure revenue streams. There's quite a bit of different items that they have for this item here. And every time you go to one of these solutions for different industries or use cases, they'll show different things. So it's not the same thing you'll see over and over. So here we're talking about the various organizations that have trust: PayPal, Deloitte, eBay, Cisco, Sanofi, if I pronunciated it right, and Volkswagen. And so you can see that there's a number of various organizations that are actually using RapidMiner. So we're going to go to the various products that RapidMiner has to offer. This is RapidMiner Studio. One of the neat things is you can actually do a demo of what they have. And these tools, they allow for an ease of drag and drop. So you don't necessarily, again, have to be a programmer to actually utilize the actual tools. So you can click Request Demo. See if we can actually all right, perfect. See if they allow me to actually access the demo. Ah, there you go, free trial. Maybe I didn't see that earlier. Okay, I guess that's a no. But RapidMiner is a great tool that you can use to do numerous different items. Now, if I have this tool, what I will do is actually share it with you so you can see how the tool looks, kind of look and feel, and some of the navigation surrounding this particular tool. I'm going to click on my desktop because I have a ton of different tools here that I use and I don't use from time to time. And no, I don't have RapidMiner on here. I thought I did, but I don't. Actually, I think I may have it on here. RapidMiner Studio. Try this. Give me about 2 minutes. I'm going to actually try to bring up RapidMiner Studio for you guys. All right, you are in luck. I have been able to find the RapidMiner Studio software. I did have it. I just moved it elsewhere on my screen. All right, let me share this so you can kind of see. All right, So what you see right here, this is actually terminal. So this is kind of running on my, it's just Control Alt T to bring this bad boy up. LS is going to show the list of files that I have in here. CD. All right. I can kind of see that I'm actually on my desktop. What I'm going to do now is CD Rapid Studio. Basically, I'm just changing directories into this, and usually it's just point and click, but just the way I have it set up here. I'm going to do LS again, and then I'm going to there. Now it's actually loading, so I'm going to show you how it looks. All right, now you can see RapidMiner, and this is how RapidMiner looks. So this right here is RapidMiner. So this is what I was trying to show you, and it's pretty neat. They have a number of items here, a ton of tutorials. I mean, kind of see, like I said, it's plug and play. Key thing is always having the data. Whenever you talk about business intelligence, one of the most important items is having data. You can't do anything if you don't have data, especially data that is appropriate for what you're doing. So a ton of items here in terms of evaluation and validation. You hover over it, it'll tell you exactly what it's doing. Sample data. So close this, and you'll see that here it is loaded with sample data. So click charts. Just move some attributes around. Do this. We'll change. Let's look at scatter, multiple. And you can see how this actual item has changed. Really, really neat. We talked about plug and play and stuff like that. I can just click here. You can see the different data sets. So you can see all I'm doing is clicking, and I'm navigating. When I hover, I get to see a quick overview. Transactions. Actually, waiting maybe a little bit better. Click on statistics. And then here, I can actually do a number of changes to the statistics. Now it's showing the chart. Of course, I can always change. Let's look at histogram. Let's look at bar stacked. So it's a great tool in terms of doing predictive analytics and stuff like that. Let's change this. Of course, you have advanced charts. We can do a number of other items. But it's a great tool. So any questions in relating to RapidMiner? And a number of these tools actually offer you the availability to use them as a student pretty much for free. You have you have academic editions, and then some have like limited use and stuff like that. All right, if no other questions, one of the next items we're going to cover is Pentahub. We're going to talk about Pentahub real quick. So I'm going to share presentation. And we'll jump to Pentahub. Now this tool I don't have on my desktop at the moment, but it's something I can bring back up in the future. So Pentahub, their BI tool, open source, and allows for a ton of different items. You have data integration, BI, business analytics, big data. Big data is kind of the buzzword at the moment. And so everyone's talking about big data and how can their businesses optimize their resources more, be more efficient, reduce waste, and be more competitive in the business market. And so this is just yet another tool that can be used to accomplish this particular task. So here's a great, I love this figure here showing basically kind of some of the stuff, data integration, the predictive analytics, data integration, visualize analytics, and all these items are together in terms of what they can do, integrating all the different data sets, being able to do your predictive analytics and then visualize them. And it's important for the visualization because if you're a CEO, you may not, and you have to make a quick decision, or you're a senior level exec, you may not want to see the raw data at that particular moment. You may want to see something that allows you to make a justified decision at the particular time. And so that's where you can like, okay, let me visualize these analytics and let me look at maybe areas where our product is selling the most. And so I need to make a decision on where do we need to target next. So that would be just a quick example. Now skip these items. Like I said, I'll post these, see them. Now, in terms of resources for, learning more about BI and there is Intech Open. And so what I have embedded here is actually a link to these are 2 books. So I have books, here are 2 books, Decision Support Systems, Business Intelligence, Solution for Business Development, and then of course an article that you can just type in business intelligence and do a search, and you'll see a ton of items related to BI. Same thing with Google Scholar. Now R has a number of conferences there, and you can view some of their information online. And so as well, the links are embedded. All you have to do is click and it will take you to the actual conferences. Now, in terms of the conferences, they break them out for various items. 2015, they're going to be in Denmark if you're ever traveling. And then, like I said, the most important thing is data sets. And here is the open access directory. And there's a ton of data sets here that are available for BI and running some of these tools. I'll actually go in here and actually show you. Other conferences, this UIC Business, Applied Finance with R. Here talking about R Day, which to go over a ton of different R tools and techniques. And then here's just additional reading. If you're interested, just contact me and we'll talk about it. Introductory statistics with R and a beginner's guide to R. Of course, you have SourceForge. And let me show you the repository so you can kind of see what the repository looks like. So we do last share repository. All right, so this is the open access repository. And you can see there's all types of information here for data sets, archaeology, astronomy, biology, chemistry, comp sci, linguistics, marine science, and other stuff. So I'm going to click here on computer science. And so it shows me all the various items. For more of a sociology or social science person, here you can see all their associated data sets as well. Other cool places to grab data from, data.gov. Is another great place. There's approximately a little over 157,000 data sets available. Credit card complaints. Look. So now it's showing me what's available. So it's showing me that the CSV is available. You look at the XML. And here they're showing that this is pretty much the views, and this is a hot topic. See, I'm downloading some of these items. Okay, it's downloading. So now I have the CSV file And with a CSV file, I can import that into a particular tool. And speaking of tool, my SOFA stats did download. So forget, I will show you how that looks. So I'm going to stop this. I'm going to share my screen once I bring up SOFA. And this is SOFA statistics right here. So this is what I was talking about earlier. This is SOFA. They have some, I think they should have some dummy data here as well. Yeah, I have a demo table. Let me share my new table so you can see that. Okay, it's not going to allow me to share that without having you see all this, but let's do this. So here you can see the actual dummy data, sorry, the demo table that is actually available. So you can see everything that's in here. So a lot of great tools that are available. So that's going to pretty much conclude this particular presentation. And then every week we'll try to have or maintain at least one of these seminars so that we can talk. If you have questions, you want to collaborate, anything that you like to do, we can talk and go over in these particular seminars. So any questions at all from anybody, please feel free to ask any questions that you may have. So I'll leave the floor open for about 3 minutes, and actually, yeah, for about 3 minutes. So feel free to type what you need and ask your questions. Let me just show you that, by the way. So I'm going to share my screen yet again. All right. So over here is where you can do your group chat. So type here if you have questions. Here we go. Adequate error for the world to see. So if you have questions, just type it here in the group chat. All right, and I do see a question from Karen, which is from 733, which I missed because you typed it on the notification, the actual invitation, but it's no problem. I can see it. So is it possible to set up a test environment using RStudio for data warehousing example for my home? Well, as long as you have the data, you can set up an environment that you like to do. So you can set it up to do your finances. So you can say, okay, I want to look at what am I spending in terms of maybe forecast out for the next couple of months. And you can do that. As long as you have the data, you can do that. So it's not an issue at all. The biggest issue is if you have the data. And the tools are free, and that's one of the best things. So as long as you have access to the tools and the data, you're okay to pretty much do whatever you like. All right, and also responding to you typing as well. So any other questions for this presentation? If not, I appreciate you making it to the seminar, and we will have, like I said, we'll have one every week. So you guys enjoy, and I will post the recorded session today. All right. I'll see you guys later.